I was born in Athens, Greece, and when I was 24 I moved to London because I wanted to study at St. Martin's, which was the college I preferred, and it was a very famous college, it still is. And I moved to London to acquire a master's degree because I had a BA degree in literature in Athens, and I thought maybe I can go for a master quickly to finish fashion. A year after I graduated, I staged my first show in London with very, very little experience and very little money. But that's the good thing about London, that you can do all these things because the culture it's such that they like to help new people and new designers, and also you can achieve things with a small budget. Anyway, that was in '99 that I staged my first show, and a few years later I moved to Paris in 2004 after the Olympic Games in October, and since then I've been showing in Paris. The fact that I am a designer that studied in the UK, and I started my career in the UK, and then moved to Paris. Now I show in Paris. I live in the UK, but I also live in Italy sometimes because I manufacture the collection there. I try to, in fact, take the best of from every culture. UK is about the street culture, it's about excitement and energy and being ahead. From Paris, you know, showing in Paris is fantastic. It's the most difficult place to be established, and that's what it is. That's what it's about, to show in Paris. Also produce sleek and elegant shows. It's important. Being directional is important in Paris. In Italy, it's all about quality, manufacturing, building a business. And Greek, I use the Greek culture to my advantage as the inspiration point, the identity that helps me to build a brand so that it's different. Because to build something, you have to have something that somebody else doesn't have. My first collection, when I decided to do my first show, for starters, because nobody would hire me, I think. So I said, okay, I graduated, nobody's hiring me, fine, I'll do a show. I was very, in a way, I'm very too positive for my own good sometimes. I didn't foresee that I would have a problem, that I had a budget of £1,000 to do a show. I just allocated 500 for the clothes and 500 for the show production. So, and actually it was a very good show. Everything started happening after that. I got a lot of help, which is what I was saying before. It's part of the British culture. The more obscure and undiscovered the designer and hidden, and the more they're happy to help. You know. Rufo research was very, very good for me then because it helped me feel very confident with leather. So now leather is a very, very strong part of my collections. Also, it was a new experience for me because it was the first time I had the opportunity to work with an Italian manufacturer. Little did I know what will follow. I was a young designer and I needed the exposure and also the financial support. It was a very good break. The Olympic Games in Athens. So when I was asked to do the costumes for the opening, which is the important part, I thought it was possibly difficult, but then I like the pressure. You know, if I have pressure, I complain. If I don't have pressure, I miss the pressure. So I thought it's a fantastic opportunity also to do something else, to try something else that is not a pret-à-porter fashion show. And especially because it was in my country, it was one in a lifetime. It was a positive experience because I liked working with a team. As a designer, sometimes it's a bit lonely. You work on your own, you know, you make your clothes, you design on your own. So going in an office in Greece every day, working with so many people, with artists, with performers, it was a fantastic change. And it's something that is nice to have in your CV, you know, at the Olympic Games. I decided, you know, I want to move, to take a big step forward. I didn't have the funds to grow suddenly, to expand to the degree I wanted and do the things I wanted to do. I decided that, okay, staff international, I want to work with staff. It was a big step for me, obviously, because you know, I gave many parts of my business are controlled in a different way. But I haven't regretted it because, in a way, finally I can enjoy my work. I can focus on designing. We have, of course, maintained the studio in London, which is very important because an important part of my brand and my identity as a designer is the detail and the craftsmanship and the labor-intensive work. So the hand craftsmanship, to be maintained, you cannot do it in the industrial way. You have to have an atelier. And that was, for me, was very important that I was allowed to maintain the studio in London, and also make the biggest part of the production and the collection we do in Italy. My style as designer, I try to always make clothes that flatter the woman. I don't want to make the woman feel ridiculous or restricted or vulgar or insecure by wearing my stuff. Show some taste, some appreciation of craftsmanship, some appreciation of cut, that you understand things that are well made and things that are maybe a little bit quirky and bizarre a little bit, but always flattering. The inspiration. I cannot articulate that, you know, I start. Sometimes it can be something I saw in the street, or a passing thought, or maybe I want to reset something from an older collection. A lot of times it's something from contemporary art that I like. I like shapes, I like artists that are contemporary, I like minimal art, so it suits me. Or it can be something very mundane, as, I don't know, a necklace that I found in a vintage market. So it can be anything. The way we work now, the main steps is we divide the Sofia Kokkiselaki collections in two parts. The one is the main collection, or the pre-collection as you call it, and it consists of more accessible, more wearable items that are stable in every woman's wardrobe. And the other part is the show, which the défilé. You can be more experimental, more mad, more. You can do whatever you want. I always try to keep to stay a little bit in the reality, to stay in the present. when I started, especially in London as a young designer, I detested dressing celebrities because I thought it was vulgar and very pathetic to chase after people. Okay, but there are ways to do it and there are ways not to do it. If the people that you dress are interesting and they're people you look up to, respect as performers, why not? Then I met Courtney Love. I realized that these people are human. They're nice people that can be interesting. It's nice the interference, the exchanging ideas, and dressing somebody that can go out and perform. It's interesting. The Bjork dress, for example, was part of the brief of the opening ceremony. It probably got the most attention because it was the biggest. It was a huge construction involved. Usually, when it comes to celebrity, I prefer to dress people that I admire their work, the standard, that what they do in a good way. Then, it's worth it. If I was not a designer, which I doubt because that's the job I want to do, although it's so exhausting and sometimes I think, why do I do this job? I would like maybe to be a journalist because I love journalism and I love writing and that's what I studied. I would like to be a fashion journalist and write about other people's shows, But at the end, I love being a designer. I cannot resist. It's impossible not to stop making clothes.